A's and Rays lived up to the hype last night as they played a playoff-like game under the dome in St. Pete. The two teams used 14 total pitchers in a hard-fought contest, but the late-inning heroics of Chris Davis broke the 1-1 tie. It was a solo home run to dead center in the 10th that gave the A's the Game 1 win. Tonight, both teams are at it again, and with the magic number at 7 for a postseason berth, the Athletics' pennant chase is in its final stages. A's and Rays, Game 2, next. St. Petersburg, Florida, that is where we are at Tropicana Field, Game 2 of the series. The A's have won 7 out of 8, closing in on a postseason berth. It's the A's and the Rays coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Heck of a win last night for the Athletics. 2-1 was the final in 10 innings. The story was really about pitching, or maybe how many pitchers were used, or probably a little of both. The A's used 5 pitchers. The Rays used 9. Both teams did a good job, but it was one mistake made by a rookie in the 10th inning. Chris Davis hits it out.
It was amazing because the A's picked up only 3 hits, 2 in 1 inning, and then 1 in the 10th inning. That one in the 10th inning happened to be the game-winning home run, a home run by Chris Davis, 42, straightaway center field to the right of center field, and all of a sudden the A's pick up a victory.
A couple of relievers will start tonight, Liam Hendricks and Ryan Stanek.
Well, it's the interesting thing about Liam Hendricks. He's been the starter. He's done exceptionally well since coming back after being DFA'd. And he comes back, he's throwing 97, 98. From Stanek's standpoint, he was pitching last night in the, 3rd inning?
Yep.
He's pitching tonight in the 1st inning. Tomorrow he's supposed to be the 8th inning guy. So here's a reliever pitching in 3 different games. One of them was started tonight. This is all messed up. This is all anybody's talking about is what's happening tonight, perhaps the first ever opener for both teams in a baseball game on the major league level. This is unbelievable, but we're going to see it tonight firsthand.
One of the things the Rays do well is steal bases. They got the 3rd most steals in the American League, but last night, Jonathan Lucroy threw out Malik Smith in the very 1st inning. Could that have had an effect on the rest of the game?
I think it had a tremendous effect because this is a fastest guy. That could have been a runner at second base, nobody out. Luke throws him out. This is the one that's very impressive. This was a 3-0 count. As a catcher, it has to be a strike. Number 1, you don't want to throw the ball and throw it in the center field. Lucroy did it best. I asked him, how did you do it? He said, I just reacted. He reacted perfectly in both cases last night.
Yeah, Rays also had a runner picked off, so 3 mistakes. It all helped the A's. Keep it right here on NBC Sports California. Up next, we will head back to the A's pregame live studios. Get you all set for Game 2 of this series.
On NBC Sports California is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
That's Ryan Stanek. He's going to be the starting pitcher tonight for the Rays. He's not going to be around a real long time, but we have openers for both teams tonight. We're going to see a whole bunch of pitchers tonight. Let's check the game time weather. Presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. It's 90 degrees outside, very hot and humid today here in St. Petersburg. Crowd still filing in, and it's going to be a decent crowd on a Saturday night here in Florida. So game 2 of the 3-game series. Stanek has finished his warm-up tosses. Ball has been thrown down to second base. So we're just about set for baseball. Let's take a quick look at the A's starting lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Pinder, Chapman, Lowry, Davis, Olson, Piscotti, Laureano, Simeon, and Lucroy. That's the A's starting lineup.
And it is young man who, and it is amazing to think about openers, but Stanek, the long hair, pitched down the stretch. He's had 3 appearances against the Athletics this year. Second time he's been the opener.
And the first pitch of the game to Chad Pinder is tapped foul right behind home plate.
And with that first pitch by Stanek, Liam Hendriks started to warm up in the bullpen. It's like a reliever, basically, because he knows he does not take that long to get loose. But he's not sitting in the dugout like normal starters that they take the warm-up tosses and come in the dugout. He stays in the bullpen.
So a quick 0-2 to Pinder. Pinder at 252 with 11 home runs, 25 RBIs. Interesting note here, Ray. Pinder has a home run against Stanek in his very short career.
Last year in June the 10th.
And that one's hit. Wendell picked it up, dropped it. So Wendell ranging far to his left up the middle. So we'll see what the ruling is.
Stanek is making, how about that, 25 starts in 52 games. Total innings, 59. So that says it all right there. But, you know, it is a different setup, and the A's seeing it last night, tonight. They'll see it again tomorrow. And the A's, of course, will use an opener tonight in Liam Hendriks.
So it is a base hit for Pinder, and here's Matt Chapman. First pitch to Chapman is for strike.
Whoa.
Chapman at 281, 22 homers, 63 RBIs. Matt was 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored last night. Umpires tonight, that's the crew chief, Larry Vanover. He's behind home plate. Jansen Visconti is at first. Chris Guccione at second, and David Rackley is down at third.
But I mean, like, I don't think there's concern about if it's like a foul.
To the backstop, and Pinder will go to second. So right through Shufo's wickets.
Very hard thrown. Really, it's a wild pitch. The ball barely bounced in front of his catcher's mitt. Just a very hard thrown slider. Fastball mid to upper 90s for this right-hander. Slider also can be thrown hard as 93. His changeup is hard. Everything's hard from him.
See if the A's can execute here in the very first inning and get an early lead. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. I say tonight, it's nighttime here in St. Petersburg, but back in the Bay Area in the middle of the afternoon. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 99 miles an hour from Stanek. So that is out number 1 here in the top of the first. The defense for the Rays looks like this. Pham in left, Kiermaier in center, Smith in right. So that's a very good outfield. Duffy, Wendell, Lau, and Bowers on the infield with Shufo doing the catching again tonight. And here's Jed Lowry. Lowry at 270. He's got 21 homers. He's got 90 RBIs.
It's usually not a good idea, but sometimes when the shift is employed by a team, in this case Duffy a long way off third base and Pinder with Wendell playing behind him at second base, he's got a chance to steal third. With a left-handed hitter, you don't think it's going to happen, but there's always that possibility, especially the way the defenders are well off the bases where they are. Jed Lowry would like to bring him in himself, and boy, they're shifting him the outfield to left field, figuring he's not going to pull the upper 90s fastball from this right-hander.
Pretty good gap in right center for Lowry.
That guy can turn around a fastball or hit it out to right field. Don't have to turn it around. Chris Davis, a lot of power.
And now 1-2. 88 miles an hour from Stanek. Stanek pitched in the third inning last night. Gave up a walk and then got a double play, and that was his 1 inning of work. Hit in the air toward right center. Kiermaier, he's got it. So 2 outs.
Jed Lowry shaking his head. He got an off-speed pitch, just got out in front and one-handed it.
So up steps Chris Davis with a runner at second and 2 outs. Davis's home run last night, which won the game, was his 42nd of the year. He's got 111 RBIs. Chris Davis was also walked intentionally last night to get to Matt Olson. And Matt Olson had a base hit.
Yeah. This was the fastball 2-0 from Schultz that went to right of center. Big swing by Chris Davis. Kiermaier jumped, couldn't catch it, and he took a 2-1 lead in the 10th inning.
Throw back to second, and diving back is Pinder. Shufo came out throwing. Could have been a planned play.
Yeah, the fact that Pinder's so far off the bag. That's where it stands right now.
Major League home run leader. Right now behind in the count 0-2. Chris Davis checked his swing on a very close pitch. I think the Rays thought it was a strike.
Could have slowed down like that. A little difficult for the first base umpire, though. That's a pretty quick bringing back the bat by Chris Davis.
And that one, strike 3 called. So Stanek gets the call, and the A's strand Pinder at second base in the top of the first. First, here's the starting lineup for the Tampa Bay Rays, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Malik Smith will lead off, followed by Duffy, Choi, and Pham, and then Wendell, Kiermaier, Lau, Bowers, and Schupo. That's the Rays starting lineup.
And it's once again Liam Hendriks for the Athletics. This will be his 5th time starting a game. 18 games overall. Of course, he was with the A's to start the season, but in those 4 previous starts, total innings 16 2/3. So he's first one he went an inning and 2/3, but then the following 3, the next 3 went just 1 inning. And I think whoever's coming in to follow him will start to warm up as Chirinos is down in the bullpen for the Rays.
First pitch to Malik Smith. A little bit inside. Smith, Duffy, Choi, the first 3 hitters for the Rays.
But 7 left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight for the Rays, so that could have an impact on decision by the Athletics.
There's a strike.
A's have a lot of right-handers in the bullpen, not as many lefties.
Emergency swing and bounce to the far end of the A's dugout. So there is Chirinos, who looks like he'll be pitcher number 2 of the night.
Yeah, he did not pitch against the A's last night.
Lowry backhands, quickly throws to first, 1 away. The defense for the A's tonight. Chad Pinder is in left field. Mariano's in center, Piscotty's in right, and it's Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olson. Infield with Jonathan Lucroy doing the catching.
I think Chris Davis on our postgame interview last night, when you asked him about facing the different pitchers, I think his description was perfect, just like spring training.
You know what? Marcus Simeon said the same thing to me today.
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of like that because spring training, especially early in camp, pitchers will throw 1 inning at most. It's going to be by pitches, but it really is kind of the same. The only difference is position players don't come out after a couple of at-bats.
And Marcus said it's just like spring training, except he said every pitcher that you face here is really good.
Exactly.
He said in spring training, listen, when you get to the 5th, 6th, 7th inning, if you're still in the game, you're probably going to be facing a minor leaguer.
Exactly. Yeah, see what kind of organization the system has, the ones when they start bringing in the minor league pitchers, especially early, as well as position players.
2-1 to Matt Duffy. I tell you what, there's nothing better than canned clapping in a dome. What do you think, Ray?
That's right. And then the organist. But the canned clapping, that's a good one.
Canned clapping.
Yeah.
Two and 2 to Duffy. Duffy had a hit and a walk last night. Slaps this one foul. Rays had a total of 6 hits last night with just that 1 run. They had a double. They were 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. It was a terrific win for the A's, and I would imagine a very frustrating loss for the Rays because they had some opportunities to win the game. And when you're in a spot where the Rays are, where, listen, they're in what we like to call miracle territory, where you have to do something that probably no other team has ever done to get into the postseason. You just, if you lose a game, it's almost to the point where it's devastating. Duffy drives into right field for a base hit.
Time now for the Nissan keys to the game. The magic number 7. That's a great lucky 7 number. That is the magic number for the A's to clinch a postseason spot. And for pitching and more pitching and even more pitching. That's what we're going to see again tonight after 14 pitchers in the game. In the first game last night, they went 10 innings. But the magic number is the key, and I think your description again last night, Cap, is perfect in how you arrive at that number and how it does decrease from the A standpoint. And I think even the best thing you said, it will not go up. It will always go down.
I've never seen the magic number go up.
That's right.
Although tonight a little bit different, because actually with last night's results, the Mariners jumped ahead of the Rays in their chase of the A's. So the Mariners are 8.5 back of the A's. The Rays are 9. So if the A's were to pick up 2 in the wild or in the magic number to get it down to 5, they would have to win, and the Mariners would have to lose tonight.
Right.
But again, a magic number of 7 with 14 games to play, including tonight, you're in a really, really good spot.
And I think manager Bob Melvin, his players will think about when it happens, it will happen. But just have to keep playing hard, because there's a lot to play for right now, in addition to just trying to get in the postseason. For Duffy, an amazing stat. I mean, 58 of his last 63 hits have been singles for Duffy, who stands at first base, but it is a single nonetheless. Got it with a 3-2 count.
And he doesn't, I mean, he's not a big guy, but when he was with the Giants, he drove the ball to the gaps a little bit. He would not have been considered a singles hitter.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he's been this year. 0-2 to Ji-Man Choi, hitting .273. Choi is the DH. Whips that one foul off the facing of second level here at Tropicana Field.
Now, there's so much information. Bob Melvin talking tonight about the running game of the Rays, and you talked about it in our open, about just that's their type of game, and Jonathan Lucroy helped shut it down last night to pick off at first base. So when you lose 3 base runners because of one pickoff and the other 2 caught stealing, that has a tendency to do its job in shutting down the running game. Just a question: is it a carryover? Do the Rays continue to play that type of game, which they probably will, depending on situations? But what Jonathan Lucroy did last night could make that decision a little bit more difficult for Kevin Cash.
Duffy bluffs going. Pitches inside.
You can hear somebody yell, "Here he goes," and that's what, with a left-handed hitter, you always say. And Jonathan Lucroy came up ready to throw, and then nothing happened. But he shot up a flare, and it's a left-handed hitter, so it's not going to affect him that much. But once he did shoot up the flare, somebody yelled it, and that's usually from the A's bench, and Lucroy came up ready to throw. And coincidentally, that's what happened last night when Kiermaier was thrown out on 3-0. There was a left-handed hitter, and as Jonathan said, he just reacted on the ball.
And then hit Choi. So the Rays will have 2 on and 1 out for Tommy Pham.
Just overthrew a pitch inside, got him on the right tricep.
So Liam Hendricks in some trouble here in the first inning as he faces Tommy Pham. Pham last night had a double, and he scored the only run in the game for the Rays. And that little pop-up that fell in right center, and he hustled for a double. The first pitch to Pham is inside. Pham is sitting on a 17-game hitting streak. He's 27 for 69 during that stretch. On deck is Joey Wendell. And now 2-0. The Rays as a team this year hitting .250 with runners in scoring position. The A's, by comparison, are hitting .263. Foul rolls back behind home plate.
Yeah, one of the things about Liam Hendriks in this situation, he was a starter at one time, but becoming a reliever, and the one thing that it does, we saw with Stanek, we saw Castillo last night, and Hendriks, they can air it out. They know they're in there for a limited amount of time. It's not like a starter where you kind of pace yourself trying to, well, 100 pitches usually is about the maximum for a starting pitcher. But in the case of Liam Hendriks, we saw Stanek, and he's probably done after the 1 inning, and be the same for Liam Hendriks, who's getting ready to pitch, make his 20th pitch in the first inning.
And that one on the outer half for a strike, and the count is now 2-2.
Well, 2-1, surprised that Pham took it, but it was one of those pitches. 97. That's something that Liam Hendriks was not doing when he first was with the ball club, but long tossing. And how effective that can be to help increase the velocity. Definitely help Liam Hendriks.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. 2-pitch, just missed, down and in, not by much.
Well, and then they just off the plate, which it was at 95 with a sinker.
Would start the runners. Lowry trying to keep Duffy close. They do not. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Pham disagrees.
That had to be a perfect pitch, but not perfect enough for Larry Vanover or Pham. Take a look at it, and this is what Larry Vanover, that was a dotted fastball at 96 outside corner, and I think the skipper Bob Melvin said it best. Players now will go look at the pitch. He said, we just said too close to take. And it basically was. I mean, it's one of those, if it's that close to being called strike 3, as a hitter, somehow you have to try to make contact.
So 2 away, here's Joey Wendell. Wendell had an RBI single last night, also walked. Hitting .293 with 7 home runs and 52 runs batted in. And he swings over top.
Last night, he had a little bit of a back issue, and I asked him tonight because he played quite well, and he said, it's okay, it's not that bad. Sometimes it hurts when I'm swinging the bat. Well, he got a big base hit last night, but he spread out with 2 strikes, and that allowed him to take a fastball and go to the opposite field. Simeon now playing more towards the straight up position than he was last night when he's closer to second base.
So 1-1 to Joey Wendell. So 24 pitches here for Hendriks in what will be his only inning. It's interesting. The Rays have 7 left-handed hitters in their lineup. The final 5 starting with Wendell.
Slight cutting action on that fastball.
And we bring up the left-handed hitters because we'll see how that plays into Bob Melvin's strategy.
Right. Buchter pitched 1 inning last night, faced 3 lefties, got them all out. The A's just have 2 lefties in the bullpen. Whereas the Rays have about 6. A whole bunch of lefties.
Kickheffer could get in tonight.
It could get in, or maybe sooner than later. Whoever it's going to be is going to start warming up as soon as Hendriks get out of this inning, and hopefully it's going to be pitch number 27.
So 2-2 to Wendell. Bounced foul. That boy knocks it down. Got to be ready.
You all right?
See the bat boys or the ball boys with a face mask? I've never seen that. Well, they're wearing double ear flaps, but notice that when they had a shot of the on-deck hitter.
Well, where they're at, I'd wear a face mask too.
I'd wear a
I'd go
hockey
full
mask.
bodyguard. Catcher's gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're totally good.
Simeon's there. He throws to first, and they get Joey Wendell, and the side is retired. So a couple of runners stranded. We're scoreless after 1. Jeff Garcia and 49ers pre and post game live 1 hour before and after the Niners face the Detroit Lions this week, coming up on NBC Sports Bay Area Plus. And if you're going to go to the game, stop by our set on Faithful Mile to win prizes and maybe get on TV. The home of the authentic 49ers fan is NBC Sports Bay Area. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. That is the new pitcher. His name is Yanni Chirinos. He's 4-5 with a 3.81 ERA. So Stanek goes an inning, gives up a hit, a couple of strikeouts. So he has the rest of the night off. Facing Matt Olson. Olson had the RBI single last night. There's Dean Kekeffer warming up, and with all those lefties that we talked about, that is why he is up.
That's right. Matt Olson last night, he's 2 hits, 1 inning. Matt Chapman double, intentional walk, and Matt Olson with the traveling Olsons in town, a little base hit past the Adamas, and Matt Chapman able to score. Matt Olson with the RBI, and of course Chris Davis won it in the 10th. But that's the extent of the hitting for the Athletics.
Olson takes low, maybe a little bit inside, and the A's have their leadoff man aboard for the second time. So here's Piscotty. Piscotty was 0 for 4 last night, and that broke that 14-game hitting streak. It was a career high 14-game hitting streak, excuse me. Piscotty says, I'm going to start a new hitting streak with a bunt single.
Well, good idea. 3 to shifting him to the left side and just try to push the ball towards the second baseman, and that would have been a base hit first and third probably. Watch as he sets up and just pushes, jabs at it, and unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, now they're going to go a little bit more to the right side in normal positioning.
There was a game last night, maybe you saw the highlight, I can't think of who did it. Push bunt down the first base line, past the first baseman for a double. Who was it? Can't think of it now. Saw the highlight. Piscotty a shot toward third. Duffy's got it, fires to second for 1, and that's a double play. Now Piscotty hit it right on the nose, and it ends up being a 5-4-3 double play.
Well, again, sounded extremely great. I mean, that was a great sound, but the result not exactly what the A's had hoped. Duffy starts it with a nice feed over to his second baseman.
So an exit velocity of 104 miles an hour, which is pretty darn good. And not only do you have nothing to show for it, but it accounted for 2 outs. And a quick 0-2 to Ramon Laureano from Yanni Chirinos.
Checking the bats, and Laureano uses the axe handle bat, and usually that's to prevent the hamate bone, but he chokes up, so really he's taken away the ability to put the hand down over the knob of the bat. That usually creates the hamate bone injury. That's the axe handle bat, but see how much he chokes up. It really kind of takes away. Maybe he just likes the feel of it. He likes it.
That's a base hit to right center field. Nice job of hitting by Ramon Laureano. It was a big opening there.
Stayed inside, and that's a 2-strike approach, and that's a good one. And I mean, this is one of the issues I think with the shifting. While you may shift if he's going to be aggressive, but once 2 strikes, and maybe because the number of strikeouts and home runs, guys are swinging hard, and they still hit into the shift. But that time, give Laureano credit, taking the ball the other way with 3 on the left side of the infield.
So 2-out hit. Here's Marcus Semien. Marcus was 0 for 2 last night, so walked. Laureano looked like he was going. He took a couple steps towards second base and then stopped. Dahl is now up in the A's bullpen. So a righty and a lefty. Laureano, pitch down and away. Has 5 steals on the year. He has not been thrown out. Laureano has a pretty good lead at first. Laureano gets down in that stance before he's ready to steal. He looks a little bit like Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
He's built a little bit
Yes,
like Ricky Henderson.
And he's been working with Ricky, and that's always impressive. But you're right, that's the Ricky stance. Only Ricky made the turn. He's going full speed.
Now it's 3-1.
Nice thing. Evidently, the throw over to first base, and Torino's thinking about Laureano, the point that he's throwing.
And that's driven to right center field, base hit. Smith is over to cut it off. Laureano hits the bag at second. He's going to go to third. So the A's have first and third with 2 outs.
Another great inside-out swing by Marcus Semien, and great approach. Smith did a good job getting to the ball to keep it from going to the wall, and they're shading him that direction. Split the gap, and Smith a very good job getting it in, and Laureano with 2 outs on the move, showing his sprinter speed, like he was waving himself. He got his arm waving. Okay, I'll go.
See if the A's can cash in as Lucroy steps up. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Lucroy was hitless last night, 0 for 3. Nick Martini is in the on-deck circle, so he would hit for Pinder if this inning goes on. Bounce toward third. Duffy has it. He'll flip to second side. Retired A's strand a pair. Bottom of the second coming up. No score between the A's and the Rays.
The A's postseason push. Get A's home screen icons and features such as live radio broadcast, the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
All right, bottom of the second, no score. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Dean Kiekeffer comes in. He's in there because there's 5 straight lefties coming up. Kiermaier, Lau, Bowers, Schufo, Malik Smith. Now, hopefully he won't face all of those guys, but that is why he is in there. Hey, you know who's the happiest about these bullpen games?
Who?
Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service.
Oh, you think? I think that is the greatest sponsor in baseball.
At least now.
But even
15 pitchers last night.
I mean, even normally, that's gonna get another one. He's got 2 warming up right now.
Yeah. Speedy's very happy.
A's used 9 in the first time that they used the opener. Set an Oakland record for 9 pitchers in a game. So Kiermaier facing Kiekeffer.
Kiermaier at 222 with 7 home runs. After last night, 0 for 4. And he's going to be aboard here.
And if you let it go, Simeon's right behind you.
Yep. No, he's still got the handle of the bat in his hand. He'll take it.
See where Simeon's playing this ball, not hit that hard. He actually looked like he tried to get out of the way of it, but put up his glove. And unfortunately, as he moved to his left, put the glove up, hit his glove, and tried to snatch at it, couldn't make the catch. So the baton being handed off by Kiermaier as he hit first base.
Here's Brandon Lau. Lau playing second base. He pinch hit last night in the 9th inning, and he was hit by a pitch. Going to start today. He hits one high in the air to right field. Piscotty's going back, and he's looking up, and that one is gone.
It's all about location, and that pitch at 87 miles per hour in a very, very hittable pitch. No doubter on a 1-0.
So, number 5 for Brandon Lau. And here's Jake Bowers. That pitch by Kieckeffer goes to the backstop. And just the second appearance this year for Dean Kieckeffer. So I guess you got to try to settle down a little bit after giving up a home run. Hitter before that hits one right back at you. And that one's going to drop into right center field for a base hit by Jake Bowers. So 3 consecutive hits, the middle one a home run.
And so much lefty on lefty, and Scott Emerson's going to pay a visit, but these are 88 mile per hour fastballs, and you know that's top end for Kieckeffer, and that's, you know, while it's lefty on lefty, his location, everything seems to be middle of the plate in, which is if a lefty's bailing, if he's opening up, then it's a perfect spot for him or for them to be able to get a pitch to hit, and they have hit them.
Well, here's Schufo. Nick Schufo. He was the starter last night. Quick throw to first. Schufo was 0 for 2. He walked last night. And it's bunted. Chapman's got it. He's got plenty of time to flip to first. So it'll be a sacrifice bunt for Schufo.
Great to see Jonathan Lucroy as third base was vacated by Matt Chapman. Lucroy dropped the mask, hustled to third base to be there in the event. The runner decided to try to go to third base. Bowers, though, decided to stop at second.
So it'll be the top of the order in Malik Smith. Duffy, a right-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle.
Alex Smith grounded out in the first inning. Chapman even with the bag. And Alex Smith kind of a half swing. And it's rolled foul.
I have to wonder with Duffy, the right hitter in the on deck circle, and I think Ryan Dull is loosening up when he come in to face out. And Choi, and then Fan.
I'm guessing yes.
Yes. He's ready. Good ready. Righty is not a problem. There's two righties in the lineup. If you're going to go righty-righty, then there's a whole bunch of righties in the A's bullpen to come in.
Grounded again to Lowry. He's got it. Smith is out. 2 outs. And Bowers is now at third, and we'll see if Dull comes in. And looks like that is exactly what's going to happen. So Kiekeffer is done. He gives up the 2-run homer, gets a couple of outs.
You have the chance to win a game-worn autographed jersey off the back of an A's player. Our coach followed the game on September the 22nd. Fans who make a donation to the Oakland A's Community Fund at home games from September the 1st to 22nd will receive a scratcher card for the chance to win. Fans will also have the chance to win autographed baseballs, A's Swag 2019 suite, and more. Find a designated team member throughout the ballpark or visit section 217 for your chance to win.
All right, so Ryan Dull comes in to face Duffy with a runner at third and 2 outs. And the first pitch is hit right off the end of the bat, foul.
He's been a singles hitter. The A's infield pretty much straight up all the way around, playing deep. As we saw in the first at bat, base hit to right field. Ryan Dull, 25th game. Still no record for him. He has been on the Nashville shuttle throughout the season.
Duffy had a base hit in the first inning. He hits one high in the air to right field. Playable for Piscotty. And Dull gets out of it, but a couple of runs. Brandon Lau with a 2-run homer. So the Rays lead 2-0. show me the Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats in your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. That is the Sunshine Skyway. It's a big bridge. It's a really big bridge. Now Chirinos back out there for his second inning of work. He gave up a couple of hits and a walk in the second inning, but he got a double play, which helped him. And here he's facing Nick Martini. Martini hitting for Pinder, so Pinder got that one at bat, and he did get himself a base hit to lead off the game. There's a shot, base hit left center field. Wendell dove for it. He almost came up with it. Martini's on.
Well, once again, seeing Nick Martini doing that. We saw it in Baltimore. We saw it when he was first with the ball club and taking the fastball away, going to the opposite field. See where Wendell's playing. The umpire went right at the umpire. He moved, and Wendell almost came up, but the ball kept slicing away from him, which was a good idea for the A's. And Martini, after looking at last night's game in the first slot, 5 different players were used there for the Athletics. You'd have to think with lefties in the bullpen, maybe Cash will determine who he's going to bring in next.
Chapman through the right side and a base hit. Martini to second. He'll hold up. Well, there was a pretty big hole on the right side, wasn't there, Ray?
You know, and he looked like he just guided the ball through the right side. And this is just a very good hit by Matt Chapman. And, you know, if you followed him, as we have talked to him about it and watched him, he's gone to the opposite field. It's hard to play him. That's a ground ball to the second baseman, possible 4-6-3 double play. Instead, a tremendous base hit by Matt Chapman, taking advantage of the hole. And all you have to do as a hitter, don't be overly aggressive. And that's what he's been doing. And that's allowed him to hit a lot of balls to the opposite field.
So exit velocity of 112 miles per hour on that ground ball base hit. So 2 on, nobody out. Here's Lowry. First pitch to Jed is fouled back to the screen. Diamondbacks and the Astros will get underway in just a little while. Godley for the Diamondbacks, Morton for the Astros. Both those guys are 14-game winners. And of course the A's just 2.5 back of the Astros in the American League West. Diamondbacks helped out the A's last night. They beat the Astros 4-2. So we're going to keep a close eye on that one. Base hit right field. Here comes Martini. Malik Smith's throw to the plate is way offline. Run scores. Chapman goes around to third, and the A's are on the board. It's 2-1.
I think the one thing that helped Matt Williams, the third base coach, send Martini, especially with nobody out, the fact that Malik Smith was playing very deep. This ball, a shot through the right side, off speed. Jed Lowry stayed with it, hooked it past the first baseman. See that little gap between first and second, and Malik Smith playing very deep, had to go to his left, and his throw way offline. Matt Chapman with his speed getting to third easily, and there's a little hesitation. That's the problem with a third base coach. You don't see that, but still able to score easily. So the A's with 3 consecutive hits, and Jeff gives a note about Chirinos. Career had 94 pitches in his last appearance. That was against the Orioles on Sunday, this being Saturday. So Chirinos in that second spot is perhaps Chris Bassett for the Athletics, who is warming up in the pen.
So he's sitting in a good spot here with a run in and Chris Davis up. So a very long meeting at the mound. Well, Larry Vanover breaks that up. Chris Bassett's getting ready. So it looks like Bassett will come in the bottom of the third. Chris Davis struck out looking in the first inning. And he swings and misses at a pitch running in a little bit.
Another base hit to the right side. I expect Chris Davis to pull the ball. Let's try.
Step foul. So now it's 0-2.
That's an inside-out swing. That's something we don't see Chris do a lot. It's usually just open up and air it out, but he's kind of stayed inside the ball. Looks like he was trying to shoot the ball to the right side, which would have been a good idea. Play first and third all night.
A little bit low. So 3 straight singles, Martini, Chapman, and Lowry in the 3rd inning. And that's a nice block by Shufo. Sometimes the ball finds your chest protector, right?
And so I found it last night, and well, he's lucky the ball didn't stay down.
It just finds
some part of your body. That's it. But
I may wish it would have hit the chest protector. 2-2 pitch, and he got him swinging. Looked like the pitch that was out of the strike zone. But Chris Davis strikes out for the 2nd time tonight.
Not a good pitch for him to do what he did last night. Pitch a little bit away and get a good one to go to right field, but no contact. Maybe a little foul tip because he looked back. That's usually an indication that there's a foul ball. Another opportunity for the Athletics to at least tie the game.
Olsen skies one into the seats.
His dad or mom caught it.
He was kind of flirting with, I think that's the B ring up there, Ray, the catwalk, the B ring catwalk. A is the smaller one, but that's the highest one.
Would you go up there?
Never. Not for $1 billion I would go up there.
That is.
Because I would be frozen. I'd have to do the game from up there.
I wouldn't go up there.
Oh, my
no
goodness.
way.
Inside in 1-1 2.
There would not be a net big enough to put under.
Not happening. Olsen walked in the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2. The A's need to make contact here and get the tying run home. And Olsen goes for a little walk.
Olsen, I don't know if you've ever thought about this.
Piscotty is the on-deck hitter. Shift on. Duffy, the 3rd baseman, is playing right at the shortstop spot. And that's bounced to 2nd. Out at 2nd. The throw to 1st is in time, and it's a double play. So the Rays turn the double play, and the A's get 1. It's 2-1 Rays.
A's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Bottom of the third, the Rays leading the Athletics 2-1. Well, it's the Bay Area out here as well.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay.
Fortunately, the folks in North Carolina, it does not look that smooth in the Atlantic Ocean.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Here is Chris Bassett. So Bassett is the fourth pitcher for the A's.
God, if this is the bottom of the third, the A's using their fourth pitcher.
Well, Bassett hopes to be out there for a little while.
I mean, he's almost going to have to, because Buchter's the only other lefty in the bullpen. So some right-hander, or a right-hander, is going to have to face a few.
Marcus Semien playing right there, so Choi is out. One away here in the bottom of the third, and that'll bring up Tommy Pham.
I always remember the Angels several years ago did not have one lefty in their bullpen. But they had a guy named Scott Shields that could get righties and lefties out. And, you know, sometimes a righty has a good sinking fastball that they can get lefties out. And from the A's standpoint, having just one lefty remaining, Melvin, I'm sure, would have to save Buchter for a particular time of the game. He did last night to face three batters, the bottom part, all three lefties.
1-0 to Pham, who struck out looking in the first inning. Tommy Pham last year with the St. Louis Cardinals, his first full year in the big leagues. He hit .306 with 23 homers, 73 RBIs, and 25 stolen bases in 128 games. Why is he no longer a St. Louis Cardinal? We do not know.
Marcelo soon.
Maybe.
That pitch is going in the dirt.
Spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, but finally got to the big leagues, and then pretty nice season last year. So 3-2 to Pham. He's outside, so it's a one-out walk, and for the first time tonight, let's go to Brody Brazil for an October Quest update. All right, we'll keep a close eye on that one. The A's just a game and a half behind the Yankees for the #1 wild card spot. One hosts the wild card game. #2 has to go on the road. But as we said last night, always keeping in mind the Yankees own the tiebreakers against the A's, so the A's would have to. The A's can't finish tied with the Yankees.
It's essentially 2.5 right now, game and a half. But it's nice to see down on those numbers and get it down to where it's even and take your chances.
Chapman going back, and Chapman grabs it a step into foul territory. Joey Wendell is out. Well, A's still have their sights set on the Houston Astros.
That's right.
But could you imagine an A's Yankees wild card game at the Coliseum?
Ooh.
How much fun that would be.
How about Mount Davis Open? We had
I think you'd have to open Mount
56,310 at the Giants A's game, and that was the regular season.
That would be
all-time record, but
certainly a possibility.
it is the possibility.
And we say that because of how close the A's and the Yankees are in those wild card standings, but the Yankees still have to play the Boston Red Sox 6 times including next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The Red Sox will be at Yankee Stadium, so we'll be watching.
Absolutely.
A's will be back home next week. 0-1 the count to Kevin Kiermaier, who singled and scored in the second. Kiermaier hit a liner off the glove of Keffer. Went for a base hit. Swing, gonna miss. That one running in on Kevin Kiermaier.
I think in the case of Chris Bassett, while he may not throw as many curveballs, he still has good enough stuff to face left-handed hitters. And of course, with 7 in the lineup for the Rays, Kevin Cash probably thinking about that with a big right-handed bullpen.
Bassett hustling over, side retired, a walk, nothing else, and we are headed to the 4th inning from Florida. 2-1 Rays. That's right, IndyCar racing. Trust me, folks, it's coming to the Bay Area for the final race of the season. The Grand Prix of Sonoma is tomorrow at 3:30 on NBC Sports Network. That guy's awesome.
That's not bad that he uses the rake for a prop. I have never seen him use that rake. Just he's a dancing machine, which is fine.
But I mean, to have one of your grounds crew guy be able to dance like that. I mean,
Clay Wood?
Could Clay Wood do that?
I don't think so. I don't think Clay.
You don't think Clay could boogie down like that? I mean, it would be some entertainment in between innings if the A's grounds crew could maybe do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
We'll run it by Clay right before the Raiders have a game, because that's what we usually can get the best out of Clay.
Well, this is Saturday, and Clay's been working hard since Monday night, getting ready for Tuesday when the A's return to the Coliseum. Laureano did a great job hitting the ball to the right side through the shift to the left, and so they're going to do it again to see if he can attempt to hit another one to the right side the way he did in the second inning.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Laureano had a base hit to right field. Marcus Semien will be next. No, Mariano is retired on the strikeout.
And there's only one way to get the first crack at 2018 postseason tickets. That's become a member of A's Access. That's right. With A's Access, you get general admission access to every single 2019 regular season home game, a plan of reserved seat tickets, and significant benefits. Plus, A's Access comes with 50% off concessions, 25% off merchandise, and awesome parking benefits for the rest of the regular season. Learn more at athletics.com/2019 today. A's Access, every game your way. Reynos works too fast.
Well, that is looking forward to the excitement of 2019. There's a lot of excitement yet to be had here in 2018. 6 more regular season games at the Coliseum, and then whatever happens after that. Marcus Semien had a base hit in the second inning. Strike right on the corner. And a pitcher's pitch. Tried it again, did Chirinos. Chirinos now at 48 pitches, 2 2/3 innings.
Marcus.
And you're right, Ray. He's ready to work.
He's ready.
And he got it. So a good inning for Yonny Chirinos. He's go 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Timeless moment. On this date in 1971, the Oakland A's win the American League Western Division with their 3-2 victory over Chicago, and the Royals 6-2 loss to the California Angels. The franchise hadn't won a title since 1931 when Connie Mack managed the team in Philadelphia. So the Philadelphia A's had some success early on, but they also had some dry spells, and when the A's were in Kansas City, there was not a lot of success, but when they got to Oakland in 1968, all the talent was in place, and then in 1971, they won the division, and we know what happened soon after that.
That was the first of 5 consecutive divisions, swept by the Orioles in 71, won 3 straight World Series, and then swept by the Red Sox in 75.
A little high.
So here's Brandon Lau, who hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. That was against Kekeffer. And now he faces Chris Bassett.
You know, Kat, the broadcaster during those great years with the A's in the 70s, great Monty Moore. Monty Moore would not know what to do, I don't think, with the opener, because he broadcast games where guys threw 300 innings and maybe 9 pitchers on the staff. We wish Monty Moore the best down in Porterville, our good friend. But these are different times, I'm sure, for the great one to have to think about broadcasting with all the pitchers.
Yeah. Hey, Monty, we got 14 relievers.
Well, this is what happened when Lau faced the lefty. And right now, pitcher of record for the Athletics. And Bassett's the 4th pitcher.
Strike 3 called, and Lau can't believe it. That's first strikeout for Bassett.
But you can see on the video, you can see the scouting report, you can see that Chris Bassett will throw this curve, but unless you get up there and you see and you get frozen when you see the ball floating, you go, oh, oh. It's almost a double clutch with your knees.
Bowers had a base hit in the 2nd inning. Dropped a single into right center field. And he bunts it. Chapman on the backhand, his throw to first. And I'm laughing because the fact that Chapman even made it at all close was unbelievable.
If a right-handed hitter had done this, he'd have been out. Look how much area he covers, and watch the throw, gets a lot on it, and Bowers just barely beats it out. I mean, you can't tell me that there's nobody in the world even would have thrown the ball. And if Bowers had taken a half step and struggled, he would have been thrown out. And Chappie's upset that he didn't throw him out, probably.
So it goes as a base hit. So Bowers 2 for 2, and here's Chufo.
You cannot blame.
I know this isn't your game, and I don't want to.
Bowers for doing what he did. Shift to the right side, only Chapman at the shortstop, and he anticipated once he saw Bowers almost just square around, and that was almost a negative for the hitter. Instead of just trying to push the ball and take off, he may in the future do that.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw to second base on a hop, got it. Looked like a hit and run, and Chufo swung and missed, and Lou Croy stood up, gave a nice one bounce throw, and they got him. Time now for another October Quest update. All right, well, we're not happy about it, but maybe we're not surprised about it with that Yankees lineup.
And
All over the ballpark.
That sounds like our days in Cleveland, whenever Yankees would come in and have a big lead and ended up blowing it late. It's not the Blue Jays. That's a different story now, though. But was it the 8th inning? He still got an inning to go.
Swinging and a miss, struck him out. So Bassett gets a couple of strikeouts. Luke Croy throws out another runner, and we're on to the 5th.
4 dealers. Well, last night he threw out 2. 1 was picked off. Tonight on the busted hit and run, Jonathan Lucroy did exactly what you should do. Catch and throw, bounce it. Perfect throw with the one-hop bounce. And he got him. Jonathan said, you know, but, you know, in reality, a hit and run, you do not know what kind of a jump that was left-handed hitter, and he just grabbed it, backhanded, threw it, and that's a perfect throw. He did his job getting there as quickly as possible. And that's your smart play of the game. And Jonathan Lucroy, that is a great throw.
Lucroy leads things off, bounces the first one down the third baseline, foul. Lucroy, Martini, and Chapman for the A's here in the 5th. Rays leading 2-1. Rays got their 2 in the 2nd. A's got a run in the 3rd. Oh, we have another postseason participant, Ray. The Cleveland Indians clinched the American League Central Division today. They beat the Tigers 15-0 in Cleveland. So the Tribe wins the Central for the 3rd consecutive year. So the Red Sox are in, and the Indians are in. That is official.
So the Indians will play the winner of the Western Division, American League West.
That's
the wild card winner
looks,
will go to Boston.
So you got to keep that in mind. If the A's were to win the American League West, which is certainly a possibility, then that would be the team to beat.
Because they have a better record. The A's
and
won
they have a better record,
line.
that's right, than the Indians. So think about that. If you're
So there's a lot going on the last couple of weeks. The Tribe, 82 wins. The A's won their 90th, so the Tribe won their.
Alex Smith going back. Yeah, that was 83rd. Yeah, so you know the A's have 7 more wins than the Indians at this point.
Really, the Indians have not had a lot to play for a long time. As far as a home field advantage, yes, but as far as winning the division, 15-game lead over the Twins entering play tonight. So they were mathematically eliminated.
Diamondbacks and the Astros are underway. No score in the 2nd inning.
Okay, if you were talking about how many games are remaining, normally this time of the year, there are a whole bunch of clubs, and the A's were guilty of the last 3 years saying, well, just play out the schedule and another homestand, another road trip. But it's totally different when you're playing for something in September. And the A's obviously doing that. You don't even think about the end of the season because the way the A's are playing and the possibilities of the A's continuing to play.
Up the middle, that's Joey Wendell, who was shaded that way. Quick throw to first, and they get Martini. Well, the shift work there is Wendell. It wasn't a full shift, but he was well behind second base, and it helped him.
Well, he's over far enough that this ball over the back to really the first base side of second, yet he handled it perfectly and took a hit away from Martini, which still is a good approach by Nick Martini.
So 2 outs, and here's Matt Chapman. Yadier Chirinos has retired 7 in a row. So he's done a good job. He got in some trouble in the 2nd inning, but he was able to get out of it. He's got a run in the 3rd, but really getting Olsen to hit into the double play was huge.
Well, Chirinos did in the 3rd to the A's what Kelly did to the Rays last night in the 7th or the 6th inning when he had 2nd and 3rd and nobody out and got out of it. The A's won it in the 10th, and the A's had a chance to bust it open, but did not. Not so far.
Wow, straight back. Good swing by Matt Chapman. Very high, very foul.
You know, I love.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. So Yadier Chirinos is rolling. Bottom of the 5th coming up, 2-1 Tampa Bay.
A's history with the 12th no-hitter in club history with his no-no against the Red Sox on Friday, September the 21st. We celebrate that special night with a Sean Manaea bobblehead. Is brought to you by NBC Sports California. Grab your tickets for the special night at athletics.com/tickets. Let's see, if he's going to have surgery, he's not going to be able to throw out the first pitch on his bobblehead night.
Probably not.
Probably you?
Me? No, I will not be throwing out the first pitch. Lowry, quick throw to first. Not in time. So Malik Smith beats it out. Lowry did everything he could.
Well, he throws very well across his body, but Malik Smith can run. And Jen Lowry around second base or near second base. That's about as best as you could expect, especially with the speed of this young man. And you look at this running through the bag versus a head-first slide last night when he was thrown out. Running through, much better than sliding.
All right, so with Smith, a very good base stealer, cat and mouse game starts. Luke Croy threw him out last night. He's got a big lead.
For Duffy, who goes the opposite field very well. But Jed, again, that's about as, I mean, this is his close play, and he jumped to the bag, did Smith, stretched by Olsen, and he just barely beat it.
There's the 33 steals. Second in the American League. Only Whit Merrifield from the Royals has more stolen bases. He has 36. Smith thought about going.
It's amazing when you think about those numbers that you just mentioned. Ricky Henderson still 20 or 30, 20, 25 a month. 131 season.
Got a very good lead. Not running. Duffy takes outside. Could have been a strike. Probably should have been a strike. Jonathan Lucroy turns around and asks Larry Vanover where that pitch was.
Well, he's inside. That's a strike. And that's, you know, that's what Eddie Montague, look where Vanover is. And first of all, you can't see when he's in that position. And Luke thought it, I mean, 1-1 versus 2-0. It's a strike, Larry. Probably get graded for it as being positive, but that's a strike. And that's why you cannot assume that where the catcher's set up, you have to watch it over the plate.
And that one is off the plate just a touch. And now it's 3-0. Choi on deck.
But that slot, you're on the inside, the left shoulder, the outside part of the plate. It's a guessing game.
So now 3-1. Duffy has singled and hit a fly ball to right field.
And Jonathan Lucroy looking in the dugout. The only thing he could be looking for would be a throw over by Bassett or maybe a hold to try to get him to freeze a little bit. He's got to be running 3-1.
There he goes. Duffy hits one down the right field line, headed for the seats and foul.
See, that's the time maybe to even take a pitch 3-1. Well, for a good base stealer, Jonathan Lucroy last night on Malik Smith, when they throw him out, is a 1-6, and the average is about 2. If you're throwing anything under 2 seconds from a catcher, and that's the catch and throw, he was at 1-6, which that's in Pudge Rodriguez territory. The Hall of Fame catcher for the Rangers, who had a cannon. Here's where Jonathan Lucroy will ask for a quick call from Larry Vanover, especially on a 3-2 in the event. Runner is going, which if he went 3-1, he'll go 3-2. Can't pitch out, can't do anything except throw a pitch. Problem here, the way Duffy likes to go to right field. He singled in the first to right field, flew out to right field in the second inning. And with the second baseman Lowry close to second for a possible double play, creates a huge hole on the right side.
There he goes. Again fouled right side. So Smith getting his sprint work in.
Look at that. I mean, that's a huge lead. The scary thing there, I mean, that is not necessarily a straight steal. The scary thing for him is if there's contact on line drive, he's out. And usually this is comparable to a hit and run where, yes, the stolen base is there, but you have to also, when you hear contact the ball meeting the bat. That's a huge lead.
There he goes. Bounce to Simeon. He's just got to wait for a good hop. He flips to first in time to get Duffy, but now Smith is in scoring position.
And because Duffy hits the ball to the right side, Lowry's the one covering. See Lowry going to cover, which is surprising. Unfortunately, with the time, and I guess they go by the type of pitch, figured that he's going to be more aggressive on the pitch because the whole right side was opened up. Well, with Smith running, stays out of a double play.
So Choi steps in. He's been hit by a pitch and he has grounded to short. That one lofted down the left field line, foul. Choi is hitless in this series. He's 0 for 5, and coming into this series, he had been one of the Rays' hottest hitters. Slightly open stance for Choi. Left center where Laureano gets back over there and he makes the catch. 2 outs, and let's check in with Brody. October Quest update. All right. Scoreboard watching again tonight, which, quite frankly, I think it's kind of fun.
Because whatever we're doing, they're doing the same.
That's exactly right. And if they say they're not, come on. It's part of our job, right? To know what's going on. Well, if you don't like the scoreboard watch this time of year in baseball, well, then you never do.
Yeah, spring training's a little early.
Spring training's a little early for scoreboard watching, yes. April, yeah, just trying to get your feet wet. But still plenty of unanswered postseason questions all around baseball. 2-0 now to Tommy Pham. And that one's a strike. Catches the inside corner. You see Pham kind of turn away from it just a little bit.
You know, this for the A's right-handers might be comparable to a lefty pitching against an all right-handed lineup except one lefty in it. There's only 2 righties in, and so far Chris Bassett has had success against the lefties.
And another strike. So with a runner at second, Pham was ahead in the count 2-0, and he's taken 2 fastballs for strikes.
And this one nailed the outside corner. Sorry, down the middle. Maybe he was looking for something else.
So Bassett trying to strand the runner at second base here in the bottom of the 5th. Breaking ball, and Pham almost went after it. So that's a pretty good pitch by Bassett.
Wendell is the on-deck hitter. Strike 3 called. So Pham takes 3 pitches called strikes, and that'll do it. So Rays 2, A's 1. It is the 6th inning. So a pitcher's duel last night, Ray, which ended with the A's winning 2-1, and another tight, well-pitched game tonight.
Now the A's need to tie it and then take their chances, because last night it was a tie game through 9. Tonight the Rays have a 2-1 lead. The A's, with their opportunities, have not been able to take advantage so far. Some time left, though. Some time left for some more pitchers.
Torino's first pitch is lofted towards center by Lowry. So out number 1.
Fans, do you have new or gently used baseball equipment that you'd like to donate for a good cause? Well, the Oakland A's are teaming up with Pitch In for Baseball to host an equipment drive at the Coliseum on September the 22nd. Bring your equipment to C-Gate, D-Gate, or the Bart Plaza entrance and receive 2 free tickets to that night's 6:05 game against the Minnesota Twins. All equipment will go to the Oakland Athletic League. More information at athletics.com/community.
So first pitch to Chris Davis in first strike.
Let's not forget, we talked about the Sean Manaea bobblehead the 21st, Friday. 22nd, fireworks. 23rd, the final regular season home game, and Fan Appreciation Day weekend.
Well, the final homestand of the year is always fun.
Yeah.
No matter where you are in the stands.
Sure.
But when you have a pretty good idea that there's going to be more baseball coming up after, then it's just sort of like a party that's getting ready for another party.
Yeah. And really, if you're a wild card participant, you get to celebrate 5 times. Because you celebrate getting in, you celebrate winning, and then the division, league, and World Series. And then you're 5. So that's the ultimate goal. They're always fun.
Fouled straight back by Davis. 3-2 the count.
I think what's fun about the game of baseball, the 162 game schedule, and people say, well, it's a long schedule, but there's so many things that can happen. And there's so many things that are said during the beginning of the season or off season. Hey, this team's not going to do it. They're not going to make it. They're going to lose a lot of games.
Driven to right center, but Kiermaier hustles over there. He's pretty good out there, and he grabs it.
And all of a sudden, you get in September, you look at a club and say, they're not supposed to be doing that. There are, but it's what's great for baseball. So many things can happen you don't expect. Baseball, Kiermaier's playing in center field, actually right center, maybe based on the way Chris Davis hits the ball, and played him perfectly that time.
Well, that is 10 in a row retired by Yanni Chirinos. So he's becoming the story right now for the Rays as they're hanging on to a 2-1 lead.
Well, according to what they're saying, they being the people who are using the openers, they don't want a pitcher, in the case of Chirinos being somewhat of a starter.
Look out, catwalk. And it comes down in that food area down there. Go ahead, Ray.
But this is the second time through the batting order for Chirinos. And Kolarek is warming up. So essentially, he came in to start the second. And as you look at it, this was pretty much second time through the batting order.
This is the first guy that he's facing for the third time, right?
Exactly.
Matt Olson. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So he came in to start him and he walked.
So the question is, what will happen next inning if he gets Olson?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, this is what they're saying, that it's more advantageous to the hitters on the third time through the batting order, and that's why they're doing the opener, because essentially what Stanek did, it took him out of having, well, he gets to pitch an extra inning, the fifth inning in this case.
Olson rolls that one foul.
And it was Olson who faced him the second time and hit into the double play with runners at first and third and one out. I'd like to see him hit a home run, and that changes everything.
That would certainly, it would mess with that strategy.
That's right. So hit your 27th, big boy, in front of your family.
Taking some good rips.
But he saw 6 pitches its first at bat against him, and he walked. 4 pitches second at bat, double play. And that was back-to-back innings. And now pitch number 7 coming up in this at bat. So he's seen him a lot.
Another good swing. This one fouled left side, second level.
It's one of the lefties in the bullpen, Clark. Kolarek pitched last night. Of course, a whole bunch of them did. 9 of them, to be exact.
I actually had to stop for a minute. Did Kolarek pitch? I think he did. I remember that
That's
name.
Right. Kittredge and Clark, 2 Ks.
Right field. And that baby's gone. Way out of here.
That's
Last
good.
row.
All right, they just blew it right there. Attaboy, Ole. See if we can see the traveling Olsons all standing and cheering. I'm sure they are, because that was a bolt. A great at bat. He went soft, and Matt Olson 2-for 9th pitch in the at bat, and he knew it. That went well above the first deck. Oh, nice catch.
So number 27 giving him 75 RBIs in the back row. Shallow center. Kiermaier comes in. Piscotty's retired. The A's have tied it. The long ball again for the Athletics. Number 27 for Matt Olson. So as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, this ball game is now tied 2-2. homer, solo shot. It's the bottom of the 6th. So Facet now working with a tie game as he faces Joey Wendell, Kevin Kiermaier, and then Brandon Lau. So 3 left-handed hitters. Joey Wendell has grounded out and he has fouled out, so he's 0 for 2. 1 for 5 in the series. Close pitch, a little bit outside. Yusmeiro Petit is throwing in the A's bullpen. So what do you think, Ray? I think that the Bob Melvin is probably happy when he has a game like this where it's an opener, and then if he can get through the 6th inning, he's probably thrilled.
Exactly.
And he maybe take even through the 5th inning.
5th inning, I agree with Petit up now. I agree that all of a sudden the tie game, he's gotten really what he wants, and now it's probably batter to batter for Bassett.
And the 3-2 pitch, pretty good take by Joey Wendell.
Well, here's a StatCast on the home run that timed the ball game. 104 off the bat, 405 feet. This ball was hit high and far. A nice catch by the gentleman with one hand in right field. So batter to batter, to your point about Petit and the A's bullpen, and here he comes.
So indeed, Yusmeiro Petit coming in as the Rays have their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 6th. So 2-2 game. Chris Bassett, 3+ innings. Now when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog expert. So here's Yusmeiro Petit facing Kiermaier. Chapman in a little bit at third. Quick throw to first, and Wendell gets back. Joey Wendell has 13 steals. He's been thrown out 4 times. Something to keep an eye on. He got picked off last night.
Yes, he did. Yeah, that was one of the 3 base running miscues by the Rays. 2 caught stealing and a pick off. Tonight a caught stealing. So Jonathan Lucroy. Well, the use of the pickoffs come from the dugout. Edwin Jackson on the mound last night, who picked off Wendell and went 5 solid innings, 73 pitches for the right-hander.
If you look back at last night's game and you're a team like the Rays is not going to hit a lot of home runs, and it's a tight game. Losing 3 base runners,
yeah,
that's going to kill you.
It's a good change up and did not get the call. Now, anytime you can eliminate base runners, however it might be, double plays, caught stealers, pickoffs, those are always good.
And now 2-0 to Kiermaier, who has singled and scored and grounded to first.
You know, one thing that the Rays have done, and we've talked about it coming into the series, they will run, they will do things, little ball in a sense. And because of that, sometimes you're going to see a pitcher, in this case Petit, pause a little bit longer. And just the thought, the possibility of the guy running might take a little bit more time for the pitcher.
Kiermaier chased a changeup, so a 2-0 changeup from Yusmeiro Petit.
Let's talk about the good base stealers can sometimes disrupt the concentration of a pitcher. And if you're the A's pitchers and you have a catcher who's throwing out base runners as often as Lucroy is, sometimes you can avoid that.
Lucroy threw out a runner tonight, Jake Bauers, so that's 3 in this series.
That man's making the calls, and of course the pitch outs and the throw overs and the holds, if you will, that's all coming from the bench.
Wendell has a pretty good lead at first. And that one is lined, headed for the right field corner, nothing but trouble. Wendell digging for third, and he's going to be waved home. He's going to score. Kiermaier, who's very fast, all the way to third with an RBI triple.
That hurt. Well, the worst thing that could have happened, especially the way they were positioning him, ball just ran straight into the wheelhouse of Kiermaier, and that helped him pull the ball really against the defense, with Piscotty a long way to run to get to the ball, and then once it hit the sidewall, and all the while it was able to allow the runner Wendell to run from first base.
So that is the 9th triple of the year for Kiermaier, and he gets his 29th RBI. So just like that, the Rays grab the lead back, and now they have a runner at third and nobody out. So the A's will bring the infield in. Pickoff at third.
See that worked on more and more by pitchers.
Brandon Lau has homered and struck out. That first pitch changeup is outside.
Joey Wendell, once he saw the ball over the head, he saw where the ball was, and he's able to pick up his third base coach. He did not steal. The threat, though, perhaps caused that pitch, and able to score is Joey Wendell from first with a leadoff walk.
Miss. So 1-1 to Lau, excuse me. Jake Bauers, another left-handed hitter, waits in the on-deck circle. Pop up. Left field, Martini coming in. Kiermaier isn't going anywhere. So one big out, and with that, let's check in with Brody for another October Quest update. So a furious comeback comes up just a little bit short by the Yankees. So the Blue Jays help out the A's. So just gets a little bit more interesting.
Really interesting thing was Kiermaier, the fly ball to left field. He just stayed at third base. He didn't even fake down the line, didn't even draw a throw, which is a little surprising.
Pitch to Bowers, drops just a little bit low. So with the Yankees' loss, their lead over the A's now for the #1 wild card spot is just 1 game. The Yankees now 91-57. Missed again, 2-0. A lot of changeups from your Yusmeiro Petit.
Yes,
is that a left-handed hitter thing?
Yeah, and trying to get the tail, and the fastball that he threw to Kiermaier overthrew it and ended up on the inner part of the plate, allowed Kiermaier to pull it. And plus, Petit is more of a corner-to-corner pitcher and not so much down the middle. That's why the changeup floating away could be beneficial.
Toward Piscotty. Could be a play at the plate. Piscotty's got it. Here comes Kiermaier. Throw to the plate is not quite in time. So Kiermaier slides away from the tag, and the Rays lead it 4-2.
Now Piscotty did everything he could, set himself up, the throw on line, the one hop, but Kiermaier able to get around the slide. Jonathan tried to at least hit him in the helmet, but again, that's kind of the play that takes away from the catcher in trying to block, and good base runners like Kiermaier just went around it.
So Bowers gets his 40th RBI. And with 2 outs, Chufo will hit.
Now the swipe tag, Lucroy up the line and just trying. If he hits him in the helmet with the tag, might have been a different story, but he was not able to, and Kiermaier got around it.
One and one the count.
Now it's my favorite
Strikeout
moment of the night is seeing your dad with the hat
Chufo.
that says Alex Smith's dad.
So a 2 spot for the Rays here in the 6th. Missed again. A leadoff walk. The leadoff walk was actually by Bassett. So one of the runs is charged to Bassett. There's the changeup, 81 miles an hour. Toward left. Martini on the move, step into foul territory. He's got it. Side retired. 2 runs for the Rays. We're headed to the 7th. 4-2 Tampa Bay.
A 2-run home run. That got the Rays on the board 2-0. With the opener tonight, then Jed Lowry able to play the run for a base hit. The A's a golden opportunity here, made it a 2-1. And then Matt Olson made it 2-2 with his massive home run to right field. And then Kiermaier with the triple down the right field line, scoring. Joey Wendell from first base thought he tripped over the plate. And they would add another on a sac fly, and that's the scoring in this game. Those A's fans trying to cheer on their hometown team. As Fernando Rodney gets loose in the A's bullpen.
Bottom three in the A's lineup: Laureano, Simeon, and Lucroy. And Chirinos staying out there. 6th inning of work, and why not? He's been pretty good. Swing and a miss. Astros leading the Diamondbacks 2-0, bottom of the 3rd in Houston. It's Fernando Rodney throwing for the A's. As we just told you, the Yankees lost. The Rays and the Yankees still have a 4-game series, Ray, right here in St. Petersburg.
Home of the New York Yankees.
It's the final week of the season. It'll be the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the final week. So the schedule ahead. 7th inning or later, well, we know what the A's can do, especially in the 8th inning. 253 runs in the 7th inning or later.
That's a lot of scoring against usually the back end of the bullpen.
3-2 pitch, and he got him swinging. Strikeout number 5 for Yoni Chirinos.
Laureano took him to 3-1, 3-2, and boy, you talk about perfectly thrown fastball at 94 with a sink. Ball really moving a lot, and Laureano swung over it. At the bottom 3rd of the batting order, 3 righties, and perhaps that's why Chirinos is staying in the game.
And Chirinos has retired 12 of the last 13. The one he didn't retire was Matt Olson's home run. Hard! But he is rocking and firing, boy.
About that note.
The Rays are 5-1 against the Yankees here at the Trop this season. So our stat man Jeff, who does a very nice job trying to put a smile on our face. Base hit, center field.
Jonathan Lucroy being called back for Matt Joyce. They might see a left-hander. But Marcus Semien going right between the shift, 3 on the left side, but hit it where the shortstop would normally be playing. So once the announcement is made for Matt Joyce.
So Joyce is announced, and that means the Rays will go to the left-hander, and then Bob Evans going to have to decide. So pitching change, we'll sort it out when we come back.
California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So 4-2, top of the 7th inning. So the wheels are turning here as the Rays bring in Adam Kolarek, the left-hander. He's announced Joyce, and then when Kolarek came in, Joyce was pulled back, and now it'll be Canna.
And it's possible that with the lefty, Fegley would pinch hit for Martini and stay in the game to catch and Canada left field. So who knows what Bob Melvin's going to be thinking.
But I think if you're the A's, the way this is all shuffled out, getting Canna up against the left-handed pitcher, I would say that we don't know what's going to happen, but that's a decent matchup for the A's.
Exactly. Since he's hit 12 home runs against lefties this year, that's a great point.
Now the count 1-1 to Mark Canna. Got 12 of his 16 home runs against lefties. Is drilled left center field. Nobody's going to get it. One hops the wall. Simeon's going to round second. He's going to go to third. He's going to score easily, and it's 4-3. So Mark Canna with a booming double.
That's a great call, Kite, because you're right. The success that Mark Canna's had against the lefty, and this ball into left center. Off-speed pitch, the outside part of the plate, he crushed to the left center. The key here, I think, is the fact that it was hit so hard that it got to the warning track, that when it bounced, did not bounce over the fence. It hit short hop and stayed in play. And, of course, that allows Simeon to score from first base. Had it gone over the fence, Simeon would have had to go back to third. So that's a big run for the A's to be able to get. Even bigger one now if they can score Canna from second.
Here's Martini. So lefty on lefty for Nick Martini. So double number 20 for Mark Canna, and it knocks in a run. There's a strike. So Kolarek, kind of that funky left-hander that you see a lot of around baseball now.
And he's not overpowering either. That's why possibly he throws a lot of sliders to left-handers and fastballs, which really is not that hard thrown. It doesn't throw it that hard.
And that one is line foul. Nick Martini this year, Ray, has just 4 at-bats against left-handed pitchers. He's 0 for 4, so this should be a good time.
He's done a lot of pinch hitting when, for example, Pinder started and they bring in a right-hander. And he has pitched hit, done some great job going to the opposite field, but maybe he can catch a hanging slider and hook it down on the corner, if not over the fence. This is nice too, and if you have a lefty does not throw particularly hard, it really enables Bob Melvin to leave his left fielder in the lineup. A Chapman in the on-deck circle, but a right-hander warming in the bullpen.
Deals, and it's bounced slowly up the first base line. Fair ball. Bowers grabs it, and right as he grabs it, he steps on the bag. So 2 outs.
And Bob Melvin's saying, let's wait and take a look. He's running out to see if it's a fair ball or not. And that would be the home plate umpire making a call. And of course, Larry Vanover. He's the crew chief. And this ball going down the line, and it has to be over the bag and reaching in foul territory. Was, I mean, could the first base umpire even see it? I think that may be what Bob Melvin was asking about.
So we got another pitching change. We'll be back.
Is brought to you by Denny's. Welcome to America's Diner.
Hey, that's downtown Tampa Bay. We stay in downtown St. Petersburg. So Chaz Rowe comes in to face Matt Chapman, tying run at third, 2 outs. First pitch, a slider for a strike, and Rowe likes to throw the slider.
Yes, he does. Hitting on third last night. Got a double play off the bat of Jed Lowry after Matt Joyce had reached on an error.
Chapman with a mighty cut as he got another slider. That one just kind of hung on the inner part of the plate. And you could tell by the swing of Chapman that he had a pretty good look at it.
No,
So
this
he's
is
behind in the count 0-2.
It's a base hit time. Just a base hit anywhere would tie the game.
Right, it's like a
Cannon dancing around at third. And it rolls past the catcher. Here comes Chapman, and we're tied.
Wow. Oh.
let's be real here. There's a lot of
Kevin Cash, a former catcher himself. Good friends with Terry Francona. The 0-2 pitch. There's your backhand, Kai. You cannot backhand a ball that close to the ground. He turned his glove improperly, scooted past him, and fortunately Canna, who was kind of dodging down the line, went back once the pitch was thrown, then able to quickly come in and score the tying run on what is called a pass ball.
2 pitches inside. Yeah, that is, I mean, if you're the catcher, that just cannot happen.
No, I mean,
tying run at third with 2 strikes.
And to turn your glove the way he did, it's just too bad.
And now 3-2. And you can say, well, he's got to forget about it now, but that's hard to do.
What it is, especially when you have 2 strikes. It's an 0-2 pitch on the hitter. You're 1 strike away and an out away from getting out of the inning with a 1-run lead.
And that one is looped into center field, and it's a base hit for Matt Chapman. So Chapman is 2 for 4.
And you can say, well, Chapman got a base hit, but you don't know he would have done that. He got a breaking ball towards the end of the bat, and I mean, nobody on base. It's a different story. The pitcher pitches differently and threw a big breaking ball. Give Matt Chapman credit for hitting it to center field off the end of the bat. The kind of similarities in what the A's did after they tied the game is Nuno, the left-hander, is up in the bullpen, but Bassett went out, walked the leadoff batter. The Rays scored 2. Chirinos goes out.
Line drive and a leaping catch by Lau to end the inning. Boy, that ball may have been headed to right center field, but the A's score twice. 7th inning stretch time coming up. 4-4 game.
Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Four to four, bottom of the seventh inning, the A's and the Rays. Another good, entertaining baseball game. Last night, extra innings, the A's won. And tonight, here in the bottom of the seventh, the A's will go to Fernando Rodney. So Rodney, a former Ray. In fact, I think if you look at the career of Fernando Rodney, and it's had some good seasons, his 2012 season here with the Rays is probably the best of his career. I'll tell you why in a minute, with Canna now in left field and Fegley now doing the catching.
Muscle stuff has.
So Rodney will face the top of the Rays order. First pitch in, first strike. Alex Smith had an infield hit in the fifth inning. He's also grounded out twice.
I like to run.
So in 2012, Ray, Fernando Rodney goes 2-2. He has 48 saves with the Rays. His ERA 0.60.
And where was he in 2011?
He was with the Angels.
He wasn't very good.
Alex Smith is retired, so that's a big man to get.
And a great job by Fernando Rodney covering first base, because with the ball hit like that and the speed of Alex Smith, you really have to hustle to get over there. He's going back slowly, but you have to immediately go, because it would have been a foot race for Olsen to get there. That's why Rodney, those pitcher fundamental practice, that's why you do that. And then you walk slowly back to the mound to catch your breath and go get him.
So one away. Here's Matt Duffy. So Fernando Rodney followed up that season with the 2013 campaign for the Rays, where he had 37 saves. So not too shabby.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have those seasons, especially after a bad one with the Angels, I think that's why when he went back to the Angels and shot up the air on the 8th inning, just kind of show the Angels, but it turned out to bite him because the Angels came back and won. But still, he's had a remarkable comeback. He's fortunate to get him and just add another closer to the mix in the back end of the bullpen.
3-0 to Duffy. That's Choi. He will be next. Duffy taken all the way, and it's in there first strike. Duffy singled way back in the first inning. 7 hits for the Rays. The A's have 10 hits. There has not been an error made in the game. A swing and a miss. The bat sails out of the hands of Duffy. Hits off the netting.
Well, the A's first 6 hits were singles. Matt Olson changed that. Mark Canna changed that. And Duffy, with a fastball, trying to do more than hit a single with that swing. And that was on a fastball. And that's your axe handle bat. And Steve Vucinich, the A's equipment manager, said those bats aren't cheap either. The axe handles, they cost a little bit more.
Two pitch, and Duffy takes low, and it's a walk.
And fans, as we wrap up the celebration of our 50th anniversary season in Oakland, what better way to celebrate than a 50-year musical journey accompanied by our world-class fireworks. That's right, 50th anniversary fireworks. Join us Saturday, September the 22nd, beginning at 6:05 for our game against the Twins, and stay for the Bay's Best Fireworks. Grab your tickets at athletics.com/fireworks today. Last of a lot of fireworks, more next year, but get a chance on the 22nd. The shirts off the back. Fireworks, just a great weekend of baseball. Great week of baseball. Started with the Angels on Tuesday night.
Choi goes after the first pitch and he fouls it into the upper deck.
As we have seen, Fernando Rodney likes his changeup against the lefties, and the key is to throw it so it's sinking away from the lefty, especially with the power of Choi. Ryan Booker, the lefty, getting up for the A's in their bullpen. Got Lindo and Kiermaier. That's Booker, who pitched an inning last night. Had a good inning against the Rays, bottom third of the batting order.
Yeah, when I saw those.
Strike outside corner, and
It's a changeup.
Rodney, well, it was a pitcher strike, if you know what I mean.
But he left it in the good part of the plate. Yeah, I'd take it. See, but that's your setup by the umpire. It works both ways, and set up over the catcher's shoulder, in this case the right shoulder, and that is an angle to the outside part of the plate.
On deck is Tommy Pham. Hit to left. Medium deep, and Canna grabs it. So Choi is 0 for 3 in tonight's game and 0 for 7 in the series.
Yeah, God, that's why as a hitter it's hard to think soft and hit a fastball with any authority. And Choi, I'm sure, was thinking about the changeup for Fernando Rodney. But if you wait and think about that, you get a fastball, especially with Fernando's mid-90s fastball. It's hard to get out in front and pull it.
Keep an eye on Duffy.
Listen.
Duffy with 10 steals.
And that's not a bad idea considering the time of the game.
And there's a strike on the outside corner. Tommy Pham with the 17-game hitting streak, longest active hit streak in the big leagues. Today he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Duffy runs. Lucroy's throw is not quite in time. Make it Fegley, excuse me. Fegley's throw not in time, and Duffy gets the stolen base. So Duffy gets his 11th steal, and go ahead run is in scoring position.
And it was a straight steal, head down all the way, and Josh Fegley in the bounce, and Jed Lowry just caught it. But good to see Marcus Semien backing up, and we've seen Laureano back up as well. But that's simply the Rays taking a chance with a couple of outs, trying to get the runner in scoring position, and they were successful.
So 2-1 now to Pham.
I think that Booker should Pham find a way to reach base. Booker would face Wyndham. Kiermaier to follow him, and you got lefties in the bottom part of the batting order.
Another take, and it's low. So now it's 3-1. Pham is a .264 hitter with runners in scoring position.
You don't have to give in either. That's the key with the hitter at the plate. The figure is going to be looking dead red with a 3-1 count.
Mighty swing by Tommy Pham. He did not get cheated that time. His last at bat, he took 3 strikes, did not swing the bat.
Okay, it's interesting. We talked about the great changeup that Rodney throws to left-handers. He started Pham with a changeup, and he got a strike on the outside part of the plate, and then 3 out of the strike zone, and a fastball at 93 that he fouled to the right.
Pham checked his swing, and he went around. Jansen Visconti rings him up, and Rodney gets the strikeout. Duffy stranded at second. 8th inning coming up. Take the A's on the go this season and stream the games on NBCSportsCalifornia.com and the NBC Sports app, presented by your NorCal Honda dealers. It is the top of the 8th inning, a 4-4 game between the A's and the Rays. Chaz Rowe stays out there. It's Davis, Olson, and Piscotty, although there are 2 relievers out in the bullpen for the Rays.
Yes, he went.
Well, they're honoring the late Roberto Clemente with the salsa music. This was after he finished the inning and got the strikeout on the check swing. Yeah, say he has a pretty good time.
Yeah, he's not super worried about anything.
You think? You know, age 41, it's been a great career for him. You consider the numbers you talked about with the comeback for him.
1-2 the count to Chris Davis. And he got it. There's that slider from Rowe. He has a good one. So Chris Davis, a tough night. He's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts.
And he's not going to let him face Matt Olson. He's going to take him out. He being Kevin Cash is a swing and a miss on a slider, and lefty comes in out of the bullpen.
So Rowe is done, and a new man coming in. Yes, they are. Defending World Series champs. And the A's are sticking right with them. That tells you what kind of year that the A's are having. Line drive, left center field, a base hit for Matt Olson off the lefty Nuno. So that strategy does not work.
Well, that says a lot about Matt Olson. We have seen it pretty consistently, Kite, but that is a home run off the right-hander. Lefty stays back. Ball travels. He goes left center. And I'd have to think the family from Atlanta extremely happy with the play tonight of Matt Olson. Sure, he's happy also with his production.
Pitches inside to Stephen Piscotty. Piscotty, double play, fly ball to right, fly ball to center. So he's had a little bit of a quiet night. But he's been known to have a big hit or two late in the game. Drills one to left, and that's a base hit. Matt Olson with a big turn, but he'll stay there. 2 on and 1 out. So Fidel Nuno has not fooled anybody just yet.
Stephen Piscotty's dad mentioned last night he's going to be flying in, and Stephen said, I don't know why, but he said, I'm going to fly in. He landed at 4 o'clock, so I'm sure he's happy to see his son get a base hit to left field on the breaking ball coming into the wheelhouse. So Mike Piscotty, dad of Stephen, in the house tonight. So not bad for him to fly in today to watch tonight's game, fly out tomorrow after the A's play the day game, and
it's a good dad.
Head back to the Coliseum. So the last week of the season at home. The thing about Nuno coming in to face Matt Olson, that was lefty on lefty, but you're right about ruining the plan because Olson singled, Piscotty singled, now Laureano comes up, another righty, Simeon behind him, Canna behind him.
All right, so here's Laureano. The A's with a chance to take the lead here in the 8th. Laureano has singled and he has struck out twice. Facing Fidel Nuno. First pitch is inside. Nuno is the 5th pitcher of the night for the Rays. Swing and miss. Changeup moving away from Laureano.
Laureano seems to have a very long swing, and they are again playing him with 3 on the left side of the infield with the right side open. He went that direction his first at bat.
Yeah, it is a hole on the right side that you can't miss if you're standing in the batter's box.
Home plate umpire.
See if he can take advantage. 2-1 the count. And the inside corner. So Laureano chokes up a little bit, takes a deep breath.
Just a little bit of a cutter inside corner, and
just inside again.
well, they're not going to pitch him away and allow him to hit the ball to the right side. And I think to some degree, as a hitter, you can see that hole and you figure they're going to pitch me in, because if they pitch me away, that's going to allow me to hit the ball to the right side.
And they did, and he hangs in there, rolls it foul down the third baseline.
And it's amazing how that kind of helps a hitter in a sense to how they're going to be pitched with the shift.
Another 3-2. Here it is, and he missed outside, so he finally went away. And Laureano with the good at bat, and now the A's are in business with the bases loaded.
Kevin Cash pointing to home plate, which would mean infield plays in, going for the play at the plate. A's back in the third inning. First and third. His pitchers, the right-handed. First and third, one out, could not score. Now bases loaded, one out, trying to score.
The first pitch is a swing and a miss. Olson at third, Piscotty at second, Laureano at first. Three infielders on the left side, all playing in. Bowers, the first baseman, lone man on the right side. And now 1-2. So Marcus had to put it in play. Rolls it foul. So again, he just pounds it inside, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And surprising that he went away from Laureano, maybe trying to fool him on the 3-2. Laureano, though, being patient, and Simeon trying to do the same thing.
And he got it. Nope. Marcus just got a piece of it.
See how he went down to one knee and backhand? That becomes difficult there, because again, if the ball's down low and he doesn't foul it, you're taking a chance of the ball bouncing and not being able to block it.
This is way high. Outfield shift a little bit toward right center. Maurice Familia has been up for a while now, so he's ready. And another one rolled foul.
Take one thing we saw Trinos, and now we're seeing Nuno. They don't waste any time.
No, they don't.
I mean, they get the sign, and there's no taking any time at all.
Yeah, as a hitter, you almost have to look inside, don't you?
Yeah, you have to think inside. And do that if it's outside, which that's
just foul it off.
Yeah, it just. I mean, you have to think in. You have to be able to rate. I mean, if it's in, it's probably going to be a cutter, slider, some sort of a breaking ball hard. And if it's away, you just. That's a sinker.
Strike three call.
Wow.
So that is a big strikeout as Marcus Simeon gets caught looking.
Well, he went through the sinker. Oh, good. Oh, my. Well, that's not a sinker. That's a backdoor slider, and he got a break. And Marcus Simeon had a reason to beef about that one.
So we got a new pitcher.
Wow.
Bases loaded now, 2 away. All right, so the A's got another shot here with Mark Canna. This is the pitch that Simeon was called out on. And
Cap, we've seen this from both sides, really. The A's have been awarded some pitches like that, but also of the Rays, and that, unfortunately, good eye by Marcus Simeon, but it did not go in his favor.
So here's Canna. The A's need a 2-out hit. First pitch is a strike.
He also pitched last night, as did 8 others.
I thought he pitched last night. I thought I recognized his name. Grounded to short, and that's going to do it. So the A's get close, but do not score. All right, game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 4-12-0 for the A's, 4-7-0 for the Tampa Bay Rays, and it's been quite a ball game, back and forth, and both teams with scoring opportunities, but right now it's the A's that are frustrated. And Marcus Simeon called out on a pitch that was clearly outside, and he's still chirping to Larry Vanover. And when Bob Melvin saw that, Bob Melvin went out to talk to Larry Vanover. Yeah. And Larry Vanover then threw out Bob Melvin. They had a pretty good discussion, and then Bob got heated up and Larry Vanover threw him out. What we'd like to do is throw out that strike 3 call by Larry Vanover, because it was pretty bad.
It was bad. And, you know, unfortunately, with the grading system, he's probably going to get graded 99% of tonight's game. It's been horrible, really, on both sides. I mean, it's not one side. It's been both, and it's that outside pitch that it's almost like it's a guessing game. And unfortunately for the A's, he guessed in the favor of the pitcher, and it was clearly off the plate. But it's happened again both sides tonight.
So here is Joey Wendell facing Familia. So Familia comes in here in the 8th inning. 7th pitcher of the night for the Athletics. Sometimes a manager does that to make sure his player stays in the game.
That's right. And he actually was pointing out, because Vanover had gone halfway to the mound, and actually he'd probably hear Simeon a little bit more as Ryan Christensen, bench coach, will take over, and the job is acting manager. Skipper, with these dugouts positioned the way they are, he can stand below the steps out of sight and still manage the game. But you know, you're right about a manager will do that because he wants to keep his player in the game. Simeon has been very consistent, and he knows his strike zone, and that's what upset him the most.
2-pitch to Wendell. He's down and away. So 2-2 to Joey Wendell, who is 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 6th. Kiermaier to follow, and then Brandon Lau. Sergio Romo is warming up in the Rays bullpen. Wendell takes high.
Well, he walked to lead off the 6th inning. That was against Chris Bassett and came around to score on the Kiermaier triple. And Familia trying to avoid the same thing happening leading off the 8th inning.
And he walked over. Not close.
Ryan Christensen going
so,
out.
Go ahead, run is aboard. And Ryan Christensen's going to trot out and have a chat with Familia. And it may not just be Familia. In fact, Rhino's talking to Josh Fegley. And with the game on the line, you may want to talk to everybody just to make sure you're all on the same page.
Well, that conversation was directed at Josh Fegley. It wasn't to me. It was more of a play to see maybe what might happen with Kiermaier, who did triple, but also with the possibility of Wendell running.
Center fielder, number 39, Kiermaier.
So Kiermaier steps up. He's had a good ball game. He's 2 for 3, a single, a triple, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Chapman, a step onto the grass. Well, a lot of tension last night. Same thing tonight. A 4-4 game in the bottom of the 8th. By Kiermaier. So 0-1 the count. A swing and a miss, but the ball goes to the backstop. It was not a foul ball. So Wendell goes to second. The ball was up and in.
Just missed it. Just missed it. The ball was up, and it's a pass ball, and you know the tick that you heard, thought maybe it was a foul ball, but it was off the catcher's mitt. That changes everything for Kiermaier. Now he'll try to pull the ball just to advance Joey Wendell. Familia trying to get a strikeout.
Lau is the on-deck hitter. He's a left-handed hitter. Up and away. 97 miles an hour from Familia. So it's been Hendricks, Kiefer, Dahl, Bassett, Petit, Rodney, and now Familia. Kiefer gave up a couple of runs. Bassett gave up 1. Petit gave up 1. Well, that misses up and away. Same spot, 96 miles an hour. See Marcus Simeon right behind Joey Wendell. Double work by Familia, and he delivers. And he got him swinging. Kind of a weak swing by Kiermaier, and that is a very non-productive out.
Yeah,
if you're going to do anything, bunt.
Do something, and you know, it's a slower breaking ball, but still a funky swing. You're right, and it's like it's a ball, it's a strike. I got to swing, and you know, even if he makes contact, the ball goes to the left side. Steadied out of lefties. And Bob Melvin opting to go to Familia, even though he had Buchter in the bullpen to face all the lefties.
First pitch to Brandon. That was called a strike.
Of course, with all the lefties, Buchter might close if the A's happen to get an opportunity to take the lead.
Timeout. Familia not happy.
Great night, Larry. You know, as I've always said, a pitcher is going to hold a little bit longer just because of runner on base. Trying to look at him, double look at him, but that's going to take time. And if you're allowing the hitter to dictate everything, then they're always going to be able to call timeout.
Lau takes a little bit low. Very close pitch. The Rays are 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position in this series. 1 for 5 yesterday, 1 for 9 today. Or 0 for 9 today, excuse me. Swung on and missed.
Hard slider, and you can see the swing. Just watch the swing of the hitter. He tells you maybe a two-seam fastball, but whatever it was less velocity than his good one that he could throw in the mid to upper 90s.
Jake Bowers is the on-deck hitter. Ball is high.
Think about the guys coming out of the A's bullpen. There's one at 98. The fastball. Got Trevino can throw that. Trinan, of course. Rodney even at 41, 95, 96.
So 2-2 the count. 15 pitches in the inning for Jeurys Familia. And now Lau will step out. Is the runner at second, and that one is up and away. That's where Familia misses if he's not quite tight with his control. He'll go up and away to the left-handed hitters, up and into right-handed hitters. So the payoff pitch, here it comes. And he just missed outside. So 2 walks in the inning. Familia is asking Larry Vanover to have him check. Let's see how close the pitch was.
First baseman number 9, Jake Bowers.
Better than the one that Simmons was called out on.
So 2 on and 1 out for Bowers.
Now the walk does set up a possible double play. And Familia can get a ground ball. Biggest out so far was Kiermaier.
Bowers is 2 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Swing and a miss. He was trying to give the Rays a 3-run lead. Bowers 0 for 3 last night with the 2 hits tonight. He's a .227 hitter with runners in scoring position. And a miss. High fastball. He chased it. 96. So now it's 0-2 on deck. The catcher. Familia, not a bad idea. Just hey, even if you just let Wendell know, I'm not going to let you just wander off as far as you want.
Great idea.
So 0-2. And that's a 3-run homer.
Have a night.
So Jake Bowers with his 11th home run of the year, and it was a big one. I think the disappointing thing is it's on an 0-2 pitch, and it was right down the middle.
96 heater right down the middle. And got both of them, didn't he? Olsen's and his.
So 7-4, the Rays lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So the crowd of 15,154 is buzzing right now. Nick Bowers, who had a big first half of the season, has struggled in the second half, but that is a big hit for the Rays.
Okay, if you're going to look at this game, and Joey Wendell's walked twice in the last 2 at-bats. He scored both times. Lau walked. And then the 3-run home run. So, I mean, you get the first 3 without walking 2 of them. It's a different story. This young man doesn't hit, but he does. He gets a big hit and throw a 96 down the middle. No matter the count, that's going to happen. And unfortunately, it did.
Two 2-0 the count to Shofu. Pop-up foul. So Romo is in the bullpen, and the A's will have the top of their order. Martini, Chapman, and Lowry. Inside. Actually, it's not Martini.
Fegley,
yeah, Fegley's in the leadoff.
Yeah, because Canada stayed in the game. Chris
Kansas.
Hatcher got up quickly, start to throw after the home run because he did not want Familia to throw a lot of pitches already at 24 and maybe his last batter. That's what they're looking for with Lau right there.
This big hop to Jed Lowry. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now here's Malik Smith. Jake Bowers. The story right now.
Right fielder, Malik Smith.
Okay, to your point, many times, bottom part of the batting order.
A lot of damage done tonight.
Tonight, for sure.
Huge amounts. Well, Bowers alone hitting out of the 8th spot is 3 for 3 with 4 RBIs. Astros leading the Diamondbacks 5-2, bottom of the 6th inning in Houston. Pitch misses inside. Familia wants a new baseball, so the count 2-0.
Well, the fact that this ball entered the inside part of the plate, 105, it sounded like about 135 off the bat, 28 degrees, 405, and the gentleman who caught Matt Olson to tie the game catches a 3-run home run, put the Rays ahead.
That one's a strike. Malik Smith tonight is 1 for 4. He's a single, and he has grounded out 3 times. Fouls that one right back to even the count at 2-2. Yankees lost their game earlier today to the Blue Jays. So that's good news.
And the Rays with 1 hit with a runner in scoring position tonight, the home run, that would have
Yeah, that's right.
that would have been it. 0 for 9 before that home run.
Hard hit ball. Marcus Semien backhands it. His throw is in time. Damage done. Young man by the name of Jake Bowers with a 3-run homer.
Chrysler drive of the game, 1 swing of the bat, an 0-2 fastball. Unfortunately, the ball in the inner part of the plate. Well, the bat flipped by the young man, and a 3-run home run following a couple of walks, strikeout in between. And, well, just one of those things that Bowers got a pitch to his liking, and it really ended up in the inside part of the plate, not especially where you want to throw a pitch 0-2, but he got it and didn't miss it. So that's your Chrysler drive of the game.
So Romo comes in to face Fegley, and then Chapman, and then Lowry. Sweeping slider. So first at bat for Fegley. Drops a little bit low, 75 miles an hour. The numbers for Romo: 3 wins, 19 saves, and an ERA of 3.15. Still striking out more than 1 per inning. 65 strikeouts in 60 innings. So that one at 77 miles an hour. Seventh pitcher of the night for the Rays after using 9 last night. And Fegley chases the slider, and that's out number 1.
Well, he's a slider master, and not surprised to see him continue to throw them and just chase, chase, chase. And I wonder sometimes if you just stood there as a hitter and you see the slider spin, you don't swing at it. You just don't swing at pitch that more times than not is going to be out of the strike zone. But deception, especially with the right-handed pitcher with a right-handed batter, and that's what happens.
I've heard hitters, when talking about Romo, they said his slider just spins a little different than most guys. For whatever that means, but hitters are saying it, not me.
Yeah, but
maybe it's just his release point, or
right.
It just spins a little bit different.
And you'd have to think.
Center field and deep. Kiermaier turns around, and that baby is way out of here. So now a 2-run deficit. Home run number 23 for Matt Chapman. A very, very, very long home run.
Well, he doesn't throw hard, and guess what? He does throw a fastball at 86 miles per hour, straight as a string. And Matt Chapman, he waits and waits long enough, and he's strong enough to do exactly that. That is a blow to left center. So much for the fastballs. Nobody else probably is going to see one.
He threw one. Got whacked over the fence. So Lowry's out. So 2 outs here in the ninth.
Well, you know, the amazing thing, Romo was going to come into the game regardless, as he was loose, but definitely helps to have a 3-run cushion, because if it had been a tied game, we saw what happened last night when Chris Davis hit a solo home run to give the A's the lead. Tonight, a 3-run home run by Bowers and the solo home run by Chapman right now just makes it a 2-run deficit.
Chris Davis takes a slider outside. Chris Davis is 0 for 4 tonight. He rolls that one toward Matt Williams' foul.
For Matt Chapman, 29 degrees, 434, and it was a moonshot.
And Davis chased it, and now it's 1-2. So the crowd on its feet. The Rays just trying to stay alive in the postseason chase. And Davis, a mighty swing, and he just got a piece of it. Remember, we'll be back with you tomorrow. Mike Fiers will pitch for the Athletics. way outside, 76 miles an hour. A's will be home tomorrow night. Off day on Monday. Final homestand of the season starts on Tuesday with the Angels in town. Pitch, and Chris Davis spoiled it. A slider that was right on the corner.
Well, the thing about Chris Davis is, powerful as he is, and Romo, if he throws the same type of slider that Fegley got, it's a different story, but it seems to kind of float the ball. If he does that, then Chris Davis, at least it looks like he's going to be able to try to foul them off. If he throws a harder one, it's a different story.
But foul, just foul down the third baseline.
Well, he's got the same swing path. This one hit a little bit harder. Ball stayed in the middle of the plate, the slider. Well, Jed Lowry is trying to get on for Chris Davis. Chris Davis trying to get on for Matt Olson.
And that one is hit high in the air, shallow left center. It's going to be Tommy Pham, the left fielder. He makes the catch, and that's the ball game. So the A's get a run on Chapman's home run, but come up short in the ninth. So the Rays stay alive, and they even up this series at a game apiece. So rubber game tomorrow morning, and that is when we will see you again. Time of game was 3 hours and 19 minutes. The attendance was 15,154. Final score tonight from St. Petersburg, the Rays 7 and the Athletics 5. Time now for A's post-game live. Let's go back to the studio and Brody Brazil.